Você que é assíduo telespectador do programa Direito e Justiça em Foco, tenho a informar que hoje começamos de uma forma diferente. Temos imenso prazer de anunciar que o programa Direito e Justiça em Foco ultrapassará a fronteira dos oceanos e será muito em breve transmitido através da MyTV, rede de canais ao vivo e on demand para o público em geral. E quem nos contará um pouco sobre esta novidade é SPIRO AZKOUL, diretor da MyTV. Como vai, SPIRO AZKOUL? Tudo bem?
Everything is good. Thank you very much for having me here on the show. It's a pleasure to be here today with you.
SPIRO, conte-nos um pouco sobre a MyTV e como ela surgiu.
Okay. MyTV came from my personal experience of being an immigrant in the United States, being of Lebanese origin in the US. When you are an immigrant, it's not very easy to find your channels and your content on TV or readily outside of, on public TV. So being an engineer and being in technology, I was always looking for ways to find these TV stations, these movies from back home for me and my friends and my family in an easy way. So beginning in 2006, when the internet started allowing for these movies and these TV stations to be on the air, I started looking for ways to access this content in an easy way, affordable way, practical way. And with time, technology has evolved and it has allowed us to create MyTV, which is very similar to Netflix, which is very popular these days, except that in addition to the on-demand component, it offers live linear TV as well. So really, it's a personal and professional mix of things that brought MyTV to light today.
Conte-nos agora qual a forma de transmissão. É apenas online ou ela é por canais a cabo e satélite?
This is a very good question. I get asked this question a lot. MyTV is a new company, but it's also a new technology. It is completely based on internet-type transmission, not to be confused with online TV access. It actually is a system that uses your internet connection at home to bring you the same exact experience that you've been used to on satellite to your TV, but using an internet medium. So it's not quite web TV. It is not really online. It's actually internet-based, where the internet is just used as a medium to get these high-definition, high-quality channels on your TV. For example, I brought a device. This is one of the typical devices that we use in the MyTV platform. And it simply requires an internet connection from your home router or switch to the set-top box. And this could be any set-top box. There's a lot of it. Like
it's very interesting.
Yes, it's a brand new, very small, very slick, new technology. And there's a lot like it, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and so forth. So it uses the internet to bring you a very similar experience to what you've been used to on satellite or on cable.
Muito bem. Eu estou satisfeito com as suas explicações. São explicações técnicas que nós podemos absorver de uma forma excelente. Mas eu vou continuar com as minhas perguntas. Eu acho que você pode respondê-las e é uma grande honra para nós que você esteja aqui no Brasil e especificamente em São Paulo. Como funciona o conteúdo on demand da MyTV?
It's really a very simple concept, and I'm going to try to explain it in as simple terms as I can. Maybe a few years ago, we were all used to going to the video store to rent a cassette or a DVD or a tape and take it home, put it in a player and watch it. The on-demand, online or internet-based on-demand system is really the same as the going to the store and getting the content, except you don't have to leave your home. You don't have to leave your couch, and using a remote control, you can immediately download the content that you want to watch. The beauty of doing it on demand on the internet is that we are not limited by the space of the store. We are not limited by any physical mediums. We are actually able to put thousands and thousands of movies, old, new documentaries, popular, not so popular. It really allows you, the viewer, to have an excellent choice of content. Some people like really mainstream movies. Other people like things or movies that are not very mainstream. So the on-demand component allows us to provide that. With our platform being that it has an immigrant or an expatriate angle, we allow these immigrants from different cultural groups and language groups to access content that is not easy to find, especially when they are living overseas. Again, it's very similar to Netflix, same exact model. You browse, you find, you click, you buy, and you watch.
Sim. Bem, a nossa curiosidade é muito grande e eu gostaria que você agora nos informasse atualmente quantos canais são transmitidos pela MyTV.
Being that I am in Brazil right now and in your presence, and everybody here, the focus of MyTV right now is to target the Lebanese community in Brazil, or the Brazilian Lebanese community. Therefore, the first release of MyTV is going to include about 100 Arabic channels. And these channels are the premier Arabic-speaking channels in the world. So the best, the top 15 or 20 channels that you can find anywhere are going to be now available in Brazil using MyTV. Later on, we are going to increase and expand and add some US channels. One of our goals is to really not be limited by one language group, even though I am of Lebanese origin, and I've launched MyTV using the Lebanese content, the Lebanese or Arabic, really much more than Lebanese, Arabic content. My goal is to create a system that allows for any language group to use MyTV to access their content, and hence why we call it MyTV, your TV. It's something that allows you, whatever your language group is, whatever your ethnic background is, and really wherever you are, as long as you have an internet connection, it allows you to access small and big channels from back home. It allows you to get more movies than you would be able to find anywhere else. It allows you to, in later stages, even interact with the content. So one of the components that we have in MyTV is social TV. Social TV allows you, for example, to watch a game while you are sitting in Sao Paulo, the same exact game that your, let's say, brother or friend is watching in Italy, and interact with that friend or relative by seeing them in the camera that is on the TV. So this is the next step, the evolution of content, which is social TV. And it's really powerful because it completely eliminates distance between people and brings content to them at the same time while they interact with each other and that content. That's a very powerful tool. And it's being enabled by the hardware technologies out there that, for example, have built-in cameras and built-in microphones. So MyTV is on the iPad, and it's an application just like any other application out there, and you can open it up on the iPad.
Eu gostaria então de perguntar a você se a MyTV possui diversos gêneros de canais, como entretenimento, filmes, séries e etc. Como é o processo de criação e inclusão de novos canais? Você pode responder?
Very good question. First and foremost, we need to bring the most popular shows or stations or content that is already out there and make it available to our end users. In a lot of ways, we have to follow the trends and see what is really being requested, what is very popular, which shows are the ones that are being demanded by the audience, which shows that have the highest ratings on TV. We go to these TV stations and we sign contracts with them to carry their signals and put it on MyTV. The same thing for the on-demand stuff, where we don't necessarily have to broadcast the station. we can go to the show and say, give us your content, and we put it on there, and you can watch it. The on-demand side is extremely similar to, actually the same as Netflix. So, you know, I use Netflix as an example because it's a very well-known model out there. You know, just like everything else that is out there today, from tablets to set-top boxes to smart TVs, we are an application-based environment. Okay? People can find us on their tablets as an application. They click on it. It loads as long as the internet is fast enough. It loads and My TV comes up. When My TV comes up on the application, whether it's on the tablet or the smart TV or the set-top box, you will have two main products for you to consume as a TV viewer. The main product is going to be the live broadcast. So you can choose from over 100 channels, click on them and watch right away. The other product is the on-demand, where you can browse through this library and search, find the title that you want by actor, by title name, by genre, by year, by any type of you know, flag that you may be looking for. Find the content and immediately click and watch and start viewing it. Depending on the device that you are using, you will have a different experience. You will have a different method of accessing the content. One of the things that is very relevant and unique to My TV is that we are creating or carrying very niche and unique channels. For example, we are carrying the Lebanese Basketball Federation channel directly from Lebanon and distributing it all over the world. You know, the funny thing about Lebanon is you have 3 million Lebanese in Lebanon, about 15 million Lebanese outside of Lebanon. There are a few cultures on the planet that have a similar trend, like the Armenians, the Jews, and a few other people that have emigrated throughout the years from their countries. Lebanon is one of them. And so we're carrying the Lebanese Basketball Federation channel. We're carrying that straight from Lebanon and distributing it all over the world for the Lebanese to watch. We would consider that a bit unique and niche and original content because nobody else is doing that. So only My TV is doing that. We hope to do this with more cultural groups. We also are doing it with independent films. So we have many universities in the Arab world that have students that are producing content but have no window, have no place to put it. We're taking it, we're putting it on My TV, and we're exposing it to the world so that, you know, anybody that might be interested in looking at these videos and browsing through them, they can. So we are carrying mainstream content, the stuff that is very popular, that is very wanted, that is actually being requested from the main TV stations, the main production houses, and so forth. But we're also carrying not so popular or not so common content, niche content that is requested by you know, few individuals and that doesn't have usually a way of getting on the air.
Qual a sua expectativa sobre uma possível parceria com o Brasil? E, em seguida, gostaria que você respondesse sobre o programa Direito e Justiça em Foco.
Brazil is an amazingly interesting place. It's one of these very few countries in the world that has a very diverse population. You know, it's interesting because you have 9 million people of Arabic descent in Brazil. You have 200 million Brazilians of Portuguese and Italian and German and Argentinian,
yes,
and different backgrounds living together in a melting pot, which is very similar to the USA. And this is exactly the model that fits into My TV's platform. My TV is really an expatriate platform. It aims to service the immigrant communities in any given country. Our goal in Brazil is to first release into the Arabic-speaking community, the Lebanese community, to provide this service, to provide them an interesting and a valuable product so that they can find their content easily in an affordable way, in an easy way in their homes, using internet lines that are available today in the market. So our expectation of Brazil as a whole is that it will be very similar in terms of success to the success we've been having in the United States, Canada, and Australia because of the makeup of Brazil as an expatriate or an immigrant country, a melting pot really of different cultures. In terms of partnering with your show, we hope that we can first carry your show outside of Brazil.
I hope so.
We will, I think, because it's a very interesting show. I've watched a few episodes online. It tackles very interesting questions and I would like to remind people watching that Brazil is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Brazil is playing a leadership role in today's world. Along with the traditional countries like the US and others, Brazil is moving up. It is playing a very advanced role in the world population. So by partnering with shows like yours, a show that tackles fundamental issues from legal issues and issues that have to do with laws and the legalities of everyday life, I think we can carry you overseas and show to the world that there is a democracy here. It's a very evolved democracy. It's a very advanced place because I'll be honest, I don't think people outside of Brazil, especially in the United States, know what you have here. I was surprised. I was surprised with how advanced the cities are, the neighborhoods, the systems, the people, how diverse. And I think TV is a great opportunity to do so. It exposes cultures to each other's. It shows that there are complex and very advanced cultures and systems and societies in places like Brazil that tackle fundamental questions about laws and about legalities, about anything that is very similar to what people think about in the States. In the United States, for example, people talk about the Constitution every day.
Yes.
There are huge constitutional issues going on with gun rights, with abortion rights, and so forth. And these issues really define American culture. The very important thing, I think, in our partnership is to show also that when we carry shows like yours to the US, that the same exact questions and issues are being raised in Brazil every day, which shows that really the world is flat in terms of us having a global culture or a global society that we need to be thinking in terms of today. So I think Brazil as a whole, your show and shows like yours specifically are going to, I think, have a success in other countries so that we can start creating that transparency across the world. So that's what we hope to do.
O telespectador, tenho certeza absoluta que está ansioso por obter essa resposta. O que você achou da programação da TV brasileira?
I've only been here for a week, so I can only say so much about what I've seen. From what I've seen, you have a very diverse lineup of channels. There are all types of channels that I've seen. There are cinema channels. There are live channels covering the events. I have noticed a couple of things that jump out at the beginning. One, everything is in Portuguese, which is good. It's very good to make sure that there's a solid attachment to the local language. But I also think that there has to be more diversity in language groups. The world is getting smaller, whether we like it or not. There are no more borders. Telecommunication is creating a much smaller world. I think it benefits, just as much as it benefits Americans to know about Brazilian culture by watching TV, it benefits Brazil to learn about foreign content and foreign channels in their native languages. I think it helps the language to grow and have more, being more popular within everyday people. And I also think that it breaks down barriers, cultural barriers, when people try to understand each other across the pond, across the borders. I also noticed that there is room, I think, for more original Brazilian content, meaning from the very short experience that I've had, I would have liked to see something that is much more Brazilian or much more uniquely Brazilian on TV. So shows that really expose me as a foreigner to the culture of Brazil. Maybe shows about Amazon tribes or Amazon, the state of the Amazon forest, the state of the economy in Brazil, the state of the culture and society in a way that maybe being subtitled or offered in a different way so that I can understand it, so that I can learn about the culture more. Obviously, at the end of the day, Brazilian TV is designed for people living in Brazil. But at the same time, I think that it's very diverse. You have HBO, you have Cinemax, you have everything that we have in the States. But at the same time, I think you need to have a little bit more unique Brazilian original programming that shows a very unique Brazilian type of content, which we can then take and propagate across the world. Because at the end of the day, everybody watches the same thing, but at the same time, everybody also is looking for unique content. People want to see something uniquely Brazilian. And I think that will be very valuable in other countries as well.
Spiro, eu quero agradecer muito a sua presença aqui no programa Direito e Justiça em Foco e peço a você a gentileza de você tecer algum comentário nessas considerações finais.
First of all, Brazil is an amazing place. I was very pleasantly surprised by what I've seen so far. Reading about Brazil, watching about Brazil in the news, and hearing about it, whether I was living in the States or living somewhere else, does not give it justice. Being here is a completely different experience. I mean this from the bottom of my heart, and I'm not saying this because I am with you here today, but I think this is a very important point. From a foreigner's perspective, this is a next world economy. This is a next world power. And it brings its own different blend and taste of things, socially, culturally, on a human level. It needs to be preserved. It needs to be strengthened. And I think you have something worth protecting here. It's an amazing place. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope to come back to Brazil very soon. And yes. I hope to carry your show outside of Brazil, and we'll see you again very soon.
I hope so.
Thank you very much.
I hope so. Mas, Spiro, eu por fim, quero agradecer a você. A sua presença no Brasil foi muito importante conversar com você. Acredite nesta minha sinceridade. E especialmente conversar com você em São Paulo e notadamente no programa Direito e Justiça em Foco pela Rede Gospel de televisão. Eu quero apertar a sua mão como uma forma de apresentar uma cadeia de união.
Obrigado.